Hey everyone, it's Eduardo here with Construction Solutions LLC, and today I want to answer a few questions we get asked all the time on the channel, which is how much does a post frame building really cost? And to truly answer that question, we made this video today. So I want to go over how much the post frame part of it goes and how the Barndominium part of it goes. So whether you're planning on, let's say a barndominium, a workshop, a barn, or even a commercial space, cost is going to be the first thing that's on your mind. Listen, just like everyone, I get it. You want to know what to expect and how to budget properly. So I'm gonna go ahead and break it down for you, okay? So now, like, what's the average cost, right? Now, the cost of a post frame building can vary quite a bit depending on the project. But here's a general ballpark on how much a post frame building really costs. Okay. Now, a post frame building can typically range from $25 to $50 per square foot just for the basic shell itself. Okay. But let's say you're building something more custom, like a barndominium or a fully furnished shop, right? You might see costs closer to $80 to $130 per square foot or more once you start adding your plumbing, your electrical, your insulations, and your finishes. So I want to go over some examples here, right? So let's say you're building a 40 by 60 garage, okay? That could cost you anywhere from 60,000 to 100,000, depending on how detailed you go, right? So now let's say you're building a 2,000 square foot barn, right? With all the bells and all the whistles. Well, that might land you somewhere between 200,000 to 300,000 plus. And now you're probably thinking, holy crap, Servando. How do we go from 60 to 100,000 to 200,000 to $300,000 plus, right? And you're probably thinking, man, what affects the cost, right? What affects the cost of the build? Well, there's a few major things that impact the price, okay? The first one's going to be obviously the size of the building, okay? The bigger the building, the more material and labor. But interestingly enough, the cost per square foot does go down with these bigger buildings, okay? The second one is going to be obviously your site prep. Now, with your site prep, that's to clear the land, leveling the site, and adding gravel or concrete, right? If you add the concrete slab, that can cost anywhere from a few thousand to over $10,000, depending on your site, okay? The third one is going to be your foundation type. Now, some people go with the basic post in the ground setup, and in my opinion, that's the most affordable. So if you're looking for a more cost-effective option or route for the post frame building, I would go with the post in the ground setup. But now some customers don't actually like that and they want the full concrete slab. So if you add the concrete slab, you can range from $6 to $12 per square foot for just the concrete slab alone. Now for the fourth, we're going to be looking at the features and the finishes. So with the features and the finishes, that comes with your roll-up doors, your windows, your porches, your lean-tos, obviously your insulation options like your bat, your spray foam, your drywall, the type of finish you want or the level of finish you want on the drywall, your flooring, the kitchen. I mean, listen, you name it, these extras will add up fast. Okay. So now that we kind of went over on how much a post frame building costs, I want to go over the barn dominium part of it. Okay. So let's talk about the barndominiums now, okay? Now, if you're building a barndominium, obviously that's a whole different animal, okay? You're not just building a shell. You're building or you're creating a livable space, okay? So with plumbing, HVAC, flooring, kitchen cabinets, and all the finished work, right? You're looking at around 100 to 150 plus per square foot for a turnkey build, okay? Obviously, this is still cheaper than your traditional stick framed houses, and it's a lot faster too with these post frame buildings. I want to talk about other factors or some other things people forget to kind of budget for when they're doing these buildings. The first one's going to be your permitting and your engineering fees, right? So the permitting and the engineering fees can cost, or they can run about from 1,000 to 5,000 depending on your location. The second will be the utilities, so the hooking up of the electrical, the water, or the septic. And I kind of want to go into a little more depth on the septic part of it, right? For the septic part of it, more kind of depends on the county, the city, and the state that you're in. But off of my experience, most of them want to see the septic layout first before you actually show them the building plans. Okay, they kind of want to go over the plumbing and make sure that you have that set up first, which is the foundation, obviously. They kind of want to have it, or they want to see that first before you actually show them the whole building itself. Okay, the third is going to be the driveway or the access roads. Okay, and I want to give you guys a little piece of advice that always have a 10% contingency fund for the unexpected. I want you guys to trust me here. It's going to be worth it. You won't regret it. And if you don't use it, that's good. You get to keep it. But if you do need it, you have it just in case. Okay? Now, your location does matter. Okay? Your location does make a difference for the whole build process. So in the South or in the Midwest, prices tend to be a bit lower than on the West Coast or in the Northeast. Material and labor costs are higher, okay? And the permitting can be a little bit more complicated, but with the right build or with the right builder or the right contractor, they can help you, guide you, and make things less complicated for you, okay? So now let's go over the labor cost. Now, if you're hiring a contractor like us, okay, the labor is included in the total package. But let's say you're trying to manage this by yourself, or you're trying to be your own GC for your upcoming project. I would plan to spend between 10 to 25% of the total project cost on labor, or more if you bring in your own electricians, your plumbers, your HVAC specialists separately, okay? So I want you guys to keep this in mind. Now, is it worth it? Like, is building a post frame building worth it? Well, in my honest opinion, absolutely. Okay, post frame buildings give you tons of values, even though there are some controversies with banks and lenders saying it's just a barn. Obviously, if you're in that community, you truly understand that you can shoot for the stars. There's no limits on how you wanna, how luxurious you want to make this or how rural you want to make these. Right? They're extremely durable. They're cost effective, and you can customize the heck out of them, like we just talked about. I just want to tell you guys something. You just have to plan realistically for what you want and how finished you want it to be. Okay, most people kind of don't plan for these, and they thinking, well, I want to build a super luxurious barn door with a 300,000 budget limit, and realistically, with how material and prices are nowadays with tariffs, uh, kind of won't see that. But I just want you guys to plan realistically. Okay. So that's it for this part of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was informational enough for you guys to kind of grasp the concept on how much does it really cost to build a post frame building. Okay. So if you're thinking about building a building, either a barndominium, a shop, an ag building, or anything in between, I want you guys to know that you can come to Construction Solution. We can talk about it, right? We help people all around the U.S. bring their ideas to life with the best and the highest quality post frame buildings tailored to your needs, and we're budget friendly as well. So at the bottom of this link, I'll have a link with our website, link to the contact us button, and just fill out some information, kind of let us know what you're looking for. This will give us an idea, and we'll reach back via email and with a quote or a price. Okay. And if you know of a friend who's been wanting to build a post frame building, right? I want you guys to tag them using the hashtags post frame, barndominiums, construction solutions LLC, and how much does it cost. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. Hit the follow button for more building tips and real talk on post frame construction. Please have a good day. Thank you. Bye.